Good morning, everyone. Happy President's Day. And here is an unusual Monday video. I promised to keep it short, but I did come in on my day off, what was going to be a day off, at least to do a little video in order to give this Thursday evening's Zoom event a little more activity from you. So in other words, I've sold a few of these samplers, these 6-bottle samplers so far that relate to this Thursday night's Zoom event. And I would dearly love to have some more participants. So let's see if we can encourage that by further describing what is going into the 6-bottle sampler related to this Thursday night's Zoom. As you can see, we're doing this video from with a different perspective, with a different background. And in fact, a different background is in fact what we want to provide you with this Thursday evening. We treat Europe a lot. We go to Italy and France and Spain very frequently with our Zoom events, but only once a year at the very most do we go south to South America and have Lizzie Butler, an amazing, well-informed woman, treat the subject of Argentina and Chile. So we like to combine them and cleverly call this event Both Sides of the Andes. And with the Zoom way of doing things nowadays, instead of your going upstairs to the mezzanine in order to taste a flight or a sequence of maybe 12 wines in one evening over the course of 2 hours while you're hearing from Lizzie. This time we have to do it with Zoom, of course, but you get this wonderful ammunition here. You get to try 6 different experiences from both sides of the Andes in the comfort and safety of your own home. So I thought I would describe these wines to you really quickly and tell you that the 6 bottles don't have to be opened all in one evening, but you get to hear about all 6 of them. That's the cool thing. Maybe open 1 or 2, depending on whether or not you have some other people in your garage or out front or out back safely distanced from you, and so you get to put more bottles into play. But whatever, you get to hear about all 6 of these wines. And it's actually 7, I'll get to that in a minute. But this pack costs you, by buying it ahead of time, I think $145.99. All of you wine club members who get 10% off everything you buy here with your membership, you will get it for I think $131.49. So nearly down to $130 for 6 delicious, wonderful South American wine examples. So let's just briefly tell you that we're going to do the predictable. In other words, if you know anything about South America and Chilean wine in particular, you're going to have heard of the Lost Bordeaux grape. That's what they call it. The Lost Bordeaux grape is what? Carmenere. Carmenere is made by many. It occurs in $6 bottlings and probably $300 bottlings as well. Well, this one that happens just a little bit under 20 bucks by Casa Silva is the archetype. It is the perfect example, at least as we would treat the curious customer who says, okay, I just visited the ATM, I've got 20 bucks. Can I get a good example of this grape I've been hearing about called Carmenere, the Lost Bordeaux grape? We will show you Casa Silva year in, year out. We find it to be a great example. This is the latest example from that producer. And of course, it's going to be part of this pack. That's anticipated. We're going to talk about Chile. We're going to talk about Carmenere, right? Why not do a good one? Well, if we go over the Andes into Argentina, what do we anticipate trying? We anticipate trying Malbec. So this is a fine one from Mendel. Our Wine Adventure Club this month gets, gets Mendel Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a wonderful wine. This is its counterpart and probably its best known wine because it's made of what? It's made of the flagship variety of Argentina, Malbec. And so Mendel, having to choose from many, many different Malbecs that we tasted with Lizzie beforehand, before this event, we chose this one as fairly affordable and really, it's a great example. It doesn't go too far into the fruit zone. It has fruit, but it's got great structure as well. And we'll describe what that all means at this event. At least Lizzie will. So those are the 2 expected wines. How about a surprise? How about a wine that if you've come to the event before, you will anticipate seeing this again. But if you haven't ever come to the event before, you've probably never even heard of a grape called País. This is País Viejo. This is a charming, more delicate wine. It's about half the size in your mouth of a Malbec, let's say. It is a delicate red wine that you would chill slightly perhaps on a warm day when the day is a little too warm for red wine. It's not too warm for this. Have it with charcuterie and treat it perhaps like a Beaujolais. So this is from Chile, and it's the grape País, otherwise known up here, when you do see it, as the mission grape. So the original grape planted here by the mission fathers long ago also got to Chile right around the same time during the conquest of South America. So País Viejo will be the charming red wine, where we're going to have some bigger, more slightly ponderous things. This is the pretty one. This is another surprise. We surprised you with Pais. We're going to surprise you with a varietal Semillon. You don't see Semillon all that often throughout the world treated varietally. Maybe from Hunter Valley, Australia, occasionally from here in the Livermore Valley, which can grow it well, and so on. I used to make it at Livermore Valley Cellars long ago. This, by my reckoning, having known this grape for over 30 years, I would say is one of the best Semillons I've ever had, regardless of where it's from. It's a very happy surprise that it comes from Mendoza, Argentina, in the form of Mendel Semillon. Okay, beautiful white wine. This is also a Bordeaux grape. Semillon is in white Bordeaux along with Sauvignon Blanc, and I think it's lovely, especially for its nice price. Then we're going to go to the kind of like top of the heap. We're not going to get too crazy in price, but we're going to show you a Cabernet Sauvignon from each side of the Andes. This is Casarena, Owen's Vineyard. If you can see that label properly, you might notice that it looks like a whole patchwork of vineyard plots, and in fact, that's what it is. And where it says Owen's Vineyard, that is in fact where Owen's Vineyard occurs in Casarena's array of vineyard plots. This Cabernet from Argentina is not a floozy. It is, in fact, well structured. I've used that word before, but what you're getting is the nice mineral structure in the wine that tells you that this wine is durable, that it will love going with food. And yes, there's fruit. It is endearing in that way, but it's just not over the top. It's not sloppy and gratuitous. It is thoughtful. It's intellectual Cabernet. Talk about intellectual Cabernet. Let's zoom over the Andes one more time and tell you about Lazuli. We're very, very lucky to have this. In fact, we tasted the 2016 and said, yeah, that's good. That's our Lazuli. However, Lizzie teased us a little bit by saying, you know, the 17 is actually coming into port. You guys can be the first ones carrying it. So, in fact, we are going to be the debut performance of 2017 Lazuli. When I tasted it next to the 16, I said, can you get this for us? I really like it better. Lazuli is a Cabernet that we've carried many times before. We've put it in the World Class Club several times, and we've proven to you via that World Class Club by giving you older examples of this, that this wine is wonderfully ageable. This is kind of like the Martha's Vineyard Cabernet of South America to me. I'll describe what that means once we have it in front of us and smelling it and tasting it. It's really super classical. What does classical mean? Only a Zoom event can reveal all that. And we hope you will be invited by signing up for the 6-bottle sampler. You would think these are closing words, but in fact they are not. One more thing to tell you, you can supersize your sampler by throwing on this. If you go onto the website, thewinesteward.com, you will see that sampler offered for, I believe, $145.99, and the opportunity, while we have some of this, to add this on as a 7th wine. This, what is it? It's by Sol de Sol. They are the makers of the best Chardonnay I've ever had from Chile. They are now the makers of the best sparkling wine I've ever had from Chile. So this is a Champagne-style Brut. Actually, I think it's a Brut Nature. It's a Brut Nature, look at that, which means it's even drier than Brut. Very, very intellectual and delicious and food-craving Champagne-style sparkling wine. Notice we are not calling it Champagne. It's not from Champagne, but I can tell you that any lover of good Champagne will respect this and say, whoa, Chile can do that. We hope to surprise you a lot of ways that evening. You can get aboard by purchasing the 6-bottle sampler, and you have the option of adding, by supersizing, if you will, the sparkling wine as well, the Sol de Sol. Go to thewinesteward.com. Y'all have a great holiday. I hope you're seeing this. I hope we have some more signups. Lizzie deserves it. The Wine Steward hopes for it. You especially deserve it. The enlightenment you will have on via Lizzie's dissertation, though she's in anything but professorial. She's a very excited young lady who has been down to Chile, who takes people down there, and will describe these places, Chile and Argentina, very thoroughly, and yet in a way that you'll want to keep listening, and you will learn the whole time. It's a worth it event, I promise. We've done it before to good effect upstairs, and you're gonna love this one too. Thank you. Have a great day, and I hope to see you Thursday night.